going for 2 in a row in the Silver Crown season opener here at Phoenix. Out of the final corner, coming to the strike. David Steele, the pole sitter, will win the season opener in the Weld Racing Silver Crown Series of the United States Auto Club.
Look at this. He's going to go up. They're going to touch. They get into each other. Yaley on the bottom. He's going to win it. J.J. Yaley steals it from Dave Steele.
Give him the check. J.J. Yaley wins flag to flag at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Gains a $50,000 bonus. For the win, it's Yaley. And point lead, J.J. Yaley is your winner. David Steele and Bob Gratton's 19 is your winner of the Richmond 100. Checkered flag is in the air, and Jay Drake scores his first win of the season in the USAC Weld Racing Silver Crown Series here at Pikes Peak International Raceway. And welcome to Clermont, Indiana, a packed house tonight at Indianapolis Raceway Park for the return of the United States Auto Club Weld Racing Silver Crown Series. Tonight it's the USAC 100, the 7th event of the 2003 season. And hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin. Former USAC National Champion Larry Rice is alongside. Dave Argabright will be busy tonight on pit road. And it's a huge week in racing here in Indiana. It's Brickyard Week. Larry, that always means all the stars have come out.
That's right. 4 of the NASCAR guys have come out here to have a little fun and race with these guys, try to steal the race, as a matter of fact. Mike Bliss, Jason Leffler, Carl Edwards, and Casey Kane are all here tonight. And believe me, they're going to be competitive.
All these guys have history in the Silver Crown cars. Any of them could certainly win tonight. But I think the big story tonight, J.J. Yaley with a rare opportunity to steal a page of history.
He is unbelievable. He's won 19 races faster than anybody has ever done it. A.J. Foyt's wins were all in the National Series. J.J. Yaley's wins have all been in the National Series. That's unbelievable.
Let's show you how he put that 9 car on the pole here tonight. Pretty smooth run. Larry, you were saying earlier, it's been slick here, a little bobble, but he was hard on the gas.
Yeah, the main thing is you've got to get on the throttle very early and get a lot of straightaway speed. You could tell he was on it early. He was sliding the back end a little bit, but the main thing was he got the straightaway speed.
So J.J. Yaley will start from the pole in the USAC 100 coming up in just a short time tonight. It's yet another opportunity for Yaley to talk to our Dave Argabright. He's the Indy Racing League's fast qualifier. Dave chatted with him earlier.
In past seasons, Indianapolis Raceway Park wasn't all that kind to J.J. Yaley, but 2003 has been a different story. J.J., what's been the difference this season?
Just going faster than everyone else. Working with Bob East, and he's taught me a lot of different things with the race cars. And right now we got the MP Stewart component car going really good. It's just a matter of just getting the car tuned up. We've learned some things with the tires that you got to get the cars a lot tighter. And the Penske shocks have we've learned a couple of tricks of those, and we've made the car quite a bit better. And Bob's just learned that I have to have a tight race car to go fast, and it's really paying off.
Tonight you could break that USAC record for wins in a season. Any additional pressure? Does that bring anything more?
No, because I'm trying not to think of that. The main goal is just go out there, run 100 smooth laps, keep the tires underneath me, and hopefully we'll be there ahead of everyone at the end. Right now the racetrack's been pretty greasy all night long, so it's just going to be a guessing game right now on if we need to tighten the race car up or if the track's going to come to us.
Well, it's the kind of season that it'd be tough to bet against J.J. Yaley.
Starting grid for tonight's USAC 100. How's this for irony? The two drivers who battled to the wire in May are alongside one another. Yaley on the pole, Dave Steele alongside in Bob Gratton's 19. Second row, Bobby East from Indianapolis, the Johnny Vance 2 car, and Truck Series star Carl Edwards from Columbia, Missouri in the Randall 95. Row 3 in the inside, Brian Tyler from Parma, Michigan, the Team 6R number 21. Tracy Hines from Newcastle, Indiana, the Indiana Underground Mopar, that's the 37. Fourth row, Paul White, former champion in this series from Temple, Texas in the Paul Cook 10. Jason Leffler, Truck Series star from Long Beach, California in the Zerunian 167. Fifth row, Mike Bliss from Mooresville, North Carolina. Debbie Snyder's 111. And Ron Gregory from Noblesville, Indiana, the Urban Motorsports 48. The sixth row, Eric Bootsy from Memphis, Tennessee in his own 09. Dave Darland, a former champion from Lincoln, Indiana in the Bob Horner 92. The seventh row, Brad Knopfsinger from Concord, North Carolina, the Kerr Agajanian 14. Tyler Walker from Los Angeles, the RE Technologies 35. Row 8, Jason McCord from Anderson, Indiana, the Contos 4. And John Starks from Edgewood, Washington, the Western 98. Jimmy McEwen in the ninth row from Sylvania, Ohio. Tony Elliott from Kokomo, Indiana in the Nolan 20. Row 10, John Heidenreich from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. And Aaron Fike from Galesburg, Illinois in the Zerunian 67. The 11th row, Chet Phillip from Avon, Indiana, the Advanced Racing 77. Michael Lewis from Noblesville, Indiana in the Team 6R 85. Row 12, Jimmy Kite from Stockbridge, Georgia, the Westcon 5. Dane Carter from Brownsburg, Indiana. Brand new car, the Panther Racing 41. Row 13, Toby Tobias Jr. from Annville, Pennsylvania, the RW17. Casey Kane is back from Uniclaw, Washington, the S&S Seymour Enterprises 29. 14th row, David Bridges from Indianapolis in the 40. Aaron Pierce in the 26. Levi Jones in the 15th row from Olney, Illinois. Jonathan Bennett from Vincennes, Indiana. And Eric Gordon in the BWB 25 has the provisional. He'll start 31st.
Yes, he will. He had a lot of trouble with that car. It wouldn't run all night. We'll see if he's got it fixed right now.
Should see plenty of fireworks tonight at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Glad to have you with us on Speed. J.J. Yaley brings him to the stripe, and here we go.
He just nailed that forward, pulled away from Dave Steele going down into turn one. Got the lead, but look at Steele. He tried to get to the outside, couldn't make it.
Carl Edwards, who won his first Craftsman Truck Series race, sitting third in the Don Ott Engines 95. Edwards, in his return to the series, has been very fast.
Yes, he's been very fast here all night long, all during practice and everything. So very tough field of cars. These guys all qualified very close.
Ryan Tyler to the inside of Bobby East. Bobby East wrecked that 2-car when we were here in May, Larry.
Yes, he did. He came back and qualified a strong third here tonight. And so far he's fallen back a couple laps. But this early, you know, you never know. Sometimes guys fall back and then move back up, as we saw before, as we're looking at Mike Bliss in the 111 car.
He's got the Rockwell Automation logo on that car, running for Rockwell in the NASCAR Busch Series for Joe Gibbs Racing these days. Brad Knopfsinger right behind him in the 14. Up front, it's Yaley. Right behind him is Steele. Steele's got 2 wins on pavement in this series, Larry, and he's very good here at IRP.
Yes, he's extremely good here at IRP, and he's almost like Mike Bliss was when he ran these cars all the time. He was the guy to beat when you came to this racetrack.
Here comes Carl Edwards in that white 95, trying to turn inside Steele for second. Yaley, though, stretches the lead. He's got 5 car lengths on Steele. And here comes the challenger up for third spot as we watch Yaley and Steele and Edwards. That's Brian Tyler back there.
Yes, and you don't want to forget that Yaley did this the first time we ran here. He kind of pulled away from everybody, and then all of a sudden he got picked up a big push, and he fell way back, and only to come back right at the very end. So we'll see if that same thing happens here tonight.
Carl Edwards' car with C&B Mushroom Farms helping out. That is a B Chevrolet. Tracy Hines in the 37, one of the Mopars. That's the Indiana Underground car. He started 6th. It's pretty slow. Bumps wheels there with the Contos 4 of McCord.
Yeah, he's got a huge push in that car. He just won't turn coming off the corners. And that's the reason he ran into McCord. He just couldn't get the thing turned.
Carl Edwards pressuring Dave Steele for second spot. Edwards with a great run at Kansas Speedway to win his first career Craftsman Truck Series race a few weeks ago. I know he was pumped up about coming back here to IRP and run the Silver Crown car.
Right, we see some smoke coming off of Brian Tyler's car, so that's not a good sign. A lot of smoke coming off. Oh, big
tangle
crash.
in turn 4. It looks like the 67 of the Fike boys and the car of Michael Lewis back there, the 85, the Team 6R car. This is Aaron Fike in the 67 from Galesburg, Illinois.
Yeah.
Huge impact.
Yeah, it was a big impact, and there you see both cars torn up very badly, so that's a tough break for both of those guys. Eric Gordon did have some trouble. He pulled off early, and so he's out of the race early, too.
Take another look. Heavy traffic in turn 4. Look at that. Fike just got up over the wheel of Lewis.
Yeah, he just looked like Lewis got in there. He made contact with the left rear wheel of Fike's car, and then neither one of them could recover. I don't know whether he just got in there a little too hard, but he just didn't get the car turned.
Michael Lewis climbing out of the Prit Express, Team 6R 85. His teammate Brian Tyler running very well. And during practice and qualifying in the 2 non-qualifiers races, Larry, we saw a lot of cars plenty loose on this racetrack. Meantime, Tyler has taken the team car to Lewis's machine to pit road. We'll find out why when we continue here on Speed. Back on Speed, coverage of the United States Auto Club Weld Racing Silver Crown Series. We're at Indianapolis Raceway Park. The USAC 100 with Larry Rice. I'm Rick Benjamin. It's been a wild night. 13 laps complete. Caution laps count up through lap 90. Problems here for Tracy Hines a moment ago under caution, Larry.
Under caution, the axle broke. The right rear hub broke right off the car. He lost the wheel, did a little spin. It's a good thing it was under the yellow. If that had been at full speed, that could have really hurt.
So Tracy Hines, many wins, many championships under his belt. The 2000 Silver Crown champion making the long walk back to the pit area. Several drivers who should have been contenders tonight, their nights are over early. We had the wreck just a moment ago in turn 4 involving Aaron Fike and the 85 car Michael Lewis. Michael's teammate, Brian Tyler, in the 21. He's behind the wall. They were fast. Mike Bliss is out already.
Yeah, Mike Bliss pulled in while this yellow was on too, so we lost 2 real contenders, actually 5 real contenders because of that yellow, or during that yellow.
J.J. Yaley, the restart leader. Dave Steele in that black 19 car is second. Carl Edwards third, and the white number 95 that you see there. Jason Leffler on the move.
Carl Edwards looks very strong as he's been right on the bumper of those guys the whole race long, and has been very strong.
Bobby East a little further back in the 2 car.
And that's Ron Gregory in the 48 car right behind him, and he's challenging him now for that position.
Jason Leffler up to 4th in the Zerunian 167. Here's Edwards to the inside of Steele. He's been working this inside line.
Yeah, he has. He's been running down there trying to get under him. He does it down in 1 and 2 better than he does in 3 and 4. He runs a little higher down there. Yaley, meantime, is running higher on the racetrack than either one of those other 2 guys.
Steele takes a look at the bottom. Steele wants the lead. Remember back here in May, Yaley was 4 car lengths behind Steele on the final lap, drove way deep into 3, bounced off the 19 and 1.
Yeah, and you have to be careful. You don't want to use the tires up real early. It's very important to keep your tires under you. Now then we see Jason Leffler moving into 3rd.
Leffler in the 167, the Craftsman Truck Series star, picking up his first career win in the series a while back. Edwards got his first just a few weeks ago. They're battling for 3rd back and forth. At Indianapolis Raceway Park, Larry, we talked about it earlier in the year. 5/8 of a mile, graduated banking, several different lines around here.
Yes, and you can really change the way your car handles just by where you run on the racetrack. Those guys,
Trouble. Casey Kane driving the Seymour 29 has stuck it in the wall as our onboard look. Casey made it through one of the qualifier races earlier tonight, but his night ends early here on lap 19.
Yeah, he actually qualified, then had to do an appearance and come back and run the qualifying race after he did an appearance in downtown Indianapolis. He's a busy, busy guy.
He'll be here, of course, later in the weekend for the NASCAR Busch Series run. But his run in the Silver Crown car is very brief tonight. Here's the view from Kane's eye going into 3.
Okay, he just runs in. Oh, Dane Carter got up over.
Man.
Dane Carter hit a wheel, moved right up in front of him. He went over the right rear, and he nailed that wall hard. He was hadn't slowed down very much getting into that corner at that point.
Second caution of the night. Let's get it downstairs to Dave Argabright.
Well, one of the people disappointed to be in street close tonight and watching this race, Jay Drake. What happened in that crash during practice?
Well, honestly, I don't really know. We only went a couple laps and hot laps, and went down into turn 3, and the car just wouldn't turn for me, and we drove it straight into the wall and banged it up pretty good. And it's a terrible deal. You know, I feel horrible for George Snyder and Tony Stewart and all the gang at Mopar. You know, they give us a great race car. Obviously, we come off of a big win, you know, with the last race in Colorado, and we had another good win last night with the midgets, and you know, things were rolling along good for us, and then to come here and get turned off right away, you know, in just a couple laps of practice, that's just an awful night for us, and too bad. And there's a lot of crazy things happening here tonight. I've seen that guy's axle just broke in half, and strange night it looks like. And oh, poor George, he's having trouble with the other car with Bliss, and they're in the pits here now, so bad night all around for our team, but it's just too bad.
Drake, the dominator at Pikes Peak on the 4th of July, back underway on lap 25. Down into 1, it's Yaley in that white and red number 9 car. Right behind him, Dave Steele in the 19. 3rd spot belongs to the 167 car of Jason Leffler on the hammer down the backstretch here at Raceway Park.
Yeah, Dave Steele is playing a pretty coy right now. I mean, he got up there and challenged a little bit before that last yellow, but right now he's just going to follow.
This is for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Brad Knopfsinger there in the red and white 14 car. Paul White, former series champion, the white number 10 out of Texas. And the great Dave Darland in that black number 92. Darland quietly makes his way to the front of these cars there.
Very quietly. He seems like he doesn't get qualified very well, but during the race he just moves up, and right now he's doing that exact thing again.
Eric Bootsy back on the track out of Memphis, Tennessee, the red and white 09 car. Very quick the last couple of outings. Jason McCord there in the Contos Hat World number 4. But there's Darland getting by White.
Yeah, he just went down to the inside, ran that inside line for about 2 straight laps, finally pulled off the pass. So looks like,
Brad Knopfsinger way loose in turn 4.
Yeah, he thought that looked like a good idea until he got down there and that thing almost spun out on him.
This track seems to be quite greasy tonight. It hasn't been that hot, Larry. What's going on?
Yeah, all the drivers have talked about how greasy it is and how slick it is. I'm not sure exactly why, because there hasn't been all that much testing or anything by anybody else here this week. So I'm not sure exactly why it's so greasy tonight.
Carl Edwards in the 95 to the bottom, trying to get back around Jason Leffler for third spot. Ron Gregory there is fifth in the 48, Gary Urban's car.
And if you remember, Ron Gregory had a great run going here the last time and got mixed up right with about 10 laps to go while he's running in the top 10.
Down to the bottom, Edwards about the only guy willing to go down on that yellow line.
Yeah, what happens with these cars, or really any race car here, the higher you run, the more the car wants to push. The lower you run, the more the car wants to be loose. So not many people wanting to run on the bottom right now and burn up their right rear tire.
Edwards takes a look at the bottom. Also, as we talked about when we were here in May, you lose your momentum, I think, when you go down to the bottom.
Well, it is flatter, so if you do lose the momentum, you don't get off the corner near as well. But sometimes just because the way the car is handling, you have to run down there. And obviously, in this case, if he wants to get around Leffler, he's not going to go around him on the outside because Leffler's right up next to the fence.
This is the battle for third spot. Jason Leffler in the silver and red 167 has it. Carl Edwards in the 95 working on him. J.J. Yaley, meantime, takes the opportunity to build the lead. Now about 12 car lengths as we put 31 laps on the board.
Yeah, he's got a pretty nice lead right now, and it's interesting. If you remember last time, he picked up a real big push about this time of the race. So we'll see if the next 8 or 9 laps he picks up some sort of a push or not. Oh, look at this. Edwards got a great, he's getting through the middle of the corner really good. He's not getting in any better or getting off as good, but now he's getting through the middle.
This time, though, he got a good jump off of 4 and makes the pass. We'll see if he can slide it up in front of the 167, and he does.
Yeah, he did a nice job there. Pretty much the same thing that Jason Leffler did to him a little earlier.
Now Edwards starts to build his advantage over Leffler. He is third. J.J. Yaley in the 9 car all alone out in front. Perhaps headed for a record-breaking night. This would be his 20th USAC win of the season, an all-time mark if he can close the deal. We'll be back.
Look at this. Here he comes. Going right after him. Final lap at IRP. Steele the leader. Yaley second. See if JJ can make a run at him down the back chute.
Well, he lost a lot of ground there. He's not going to give up. Look at this. He's going to go up.
For the win.
They're going to touch.
They get into each other. Yaley on the bottom is going to win it. JJ Yaley steals it from Dave Steele.
That was unbelievable.
That was 2 months ago, and people are still talking about that finish, Larry Rice.
Still talking about it, and we could have a repeat as both of those guys running right up front and running 1-2 right now.
Is Steele thinking about what he did wrong at that point, or is he just not able to run with Yaley?
Well, all he's thinking about right now is keeping up with J.J. Yaley until the last 20 laps so he can make his move. But if he gets down to that end and he's that close, believe me, he'll remember what happened in that last race.
Now that night, that was twin features. This is 100 laps straight through. Does that change the strategy for these guys?
Well, it changes a little bit because you have to change, save your tires a little bit more. But look at Dave Darland. He has moved himself up into the top 5, and he started deep in this field.
He is fifth right now, getting by Gregory in the 48, East in the 2 car, Jason McCord in the white number 4. And Darland is a guy I'm just so impressed. This is the first opportunity this season that I've had to watch him on a regular basis. Quietly goes about his business at the racetrack. You never count him out. Never count him out. Now he's on the inside of Leffler. He's going to move from 12th, nope, still in 5th, but he's going to come from 12th up to 5th right now. And these 100-lap races, whether it's on a 5/8 like this as he closes the deal and gets around Leffler, it's so important to be good at the end, and that's what he is. Well, you have to remember that these cars carry 500 pounds of fuel, most of it behind the rear wheels. So the car tends to want to push early in the race, and then it gets looser as the race goes on. They have adjustments on the cars so they can lower the back end as that weight goes away, but still the cars do handle much differently as the race goes on. Dave Darland has brought the 92 car from fairly deep in the field to 4th spot, about 8 laps short of halfway, still battling back there. You've still got Gregory and Bobby East fighting for position. Darland has gained 8 spots. And Jason McCord, we saw him a moment ago, has been quick again here tonight. In Richmond, of course, he was leading when he broke a right rear corner on that car and whacked the wall on the 15th lap. And he started back in 15th spot. He's moved up into 5th, so he's moved up there too. Carl Edwards in the 95, starting to put some pressure now on the 19 of David Steele. And if you don't think a driver matters much in racing these days, consider what Carl Edwards has done. That 95 car has not been a factor in any other race this year. Edwards gets into it for the first time, and he's up in the top 3.
Well, he's certainly driving the wheels off of it tonight, because when you come to this place, we're not used to seeing Carl Edwards running with the likes of J.J. Yaley and David Steele. And you can see those two cars both are gaining on J.J. Yaley right now. So as this race wears on, much as we talked about earlier, is J.J. slowing down just slightly.
Edwards has a little different nose bodywork on that 95. It is a beast chassis, but there's a real shovel panel, kind of an airfoil, a splitter, I guess, if you will, on the front of that
Well,
car.
some guys think that they can improve the aerodynamics and so forth in these cars, as John Heidenreich slowly going down the front straightaway, so he's moving out, or he's having trouble too.
For fourth spot, Jason McCord is on the move in the 4. All of a sudden, Dave Darland's got his hands full here.
Yeah, these two guys both came from, I think they started 12th and 15th respectively, have come a long way through. So both of these guys making a good move and moving up on the front pack.
Still battling out of turn 4. Darland started 12th, McCord started 15th, so McCord really has gained more ground. He's gained 10 spots as we are closing in on halfway. Lap 47 goes on the board as the leaders haul it down into 1. Dane Carter's also been moving up nicely, although he was really the trigger man in that incredibly hard impact for Casey Kane. Dane Carter's picked up 14 spots unofficially.
Yeah, he's up to 10th, and Leffler, meantime, has fallen back to 8th spot. So some of the guys who started up front moving backwards a little bit.
J.J. Yaley continues to lead. David Steele is second. We're watching the battle for 4th here. Darland in that black 92 has it. Jason McCord in the white number 4 wants the spot. McCord, a guy who we expected strong things from this year, haven't really seen it thus far. Maybe tonight's his night.
Well, yeah, of course at Richmond he was very strong, but other than that he's been hasn't been as strong as we thought he might be. But right now he seems to be one of the quicker cars on the racetrack, that Dave Darland is just kind of holding him up a little bit.
McCord trying to find a way by, and Larry, we talked about it in May. This is not an easy place to pass.
It's a very difficult place to pass, especially if you don't want to wear your tires out. We saw Carl Edwards run at the bottom of the racetrack. Well, since he's done that, he's fallen back just slightly, and I think that's probably why. He heated up the right rear tire, and when he did, he fell back a little bit.
Halfway next time by for the leaders. They'll take the cross flags, indicating 50 to go here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Here's McCord trying to get a run on the high side in 4. Maybe he'll swing it to the bottom and see if he can sneak by Darland going into 1. But Dave Darland's a guy who knows how to make that car pretty wide.
He certainly does, and he runs in a little low, drifts up in the middle of the racetrack, and then comes off, kind of diamonds the racetrack. Gets a good run down the straightaway.
McCord, quick move to the inside.
Man, and he just absolutely didn't slow down going in there, and the thing stuck. I thought he might slide a little bit, get into Darland, but he blew right on by him before he ever got to the corner.
So Jason McCord moves the 4 car into 4th spot now, and we'll see if he can get going and move toward the leaders. J.J. Yaley continues to lead in the 9, about 5 car lengths back. David Steele sits second. We're halfway at IRP, and we'll be back on speed. 47 laps to go at Indianapolis Raceway Park here on Speed. Upcoming events for the United States Auto Club on August 16th, the Silver Crown Series going to the dirt. The traditional late summer stretch, the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield will be the scene. And then we'll be with you from Nazareth Speedway in Nazareth, Pennsylvania on Saturday, August 23rd. The Sprint Cars and Midgets, we'll see it at 8 o'clock that night. And then on August 24th, the Silver Crown Machines will run at Nazareth on the mile along with the Indy Racing League. You'll see that show August the 30th at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. It's all, of course, here on Speed. J.J. Yaley continuing to lead, 55 laps complete, going for his 20th win, Larry Rice. And so far, no one's been able to get up and challenge him.
He certainly does not look like he's having any of the problems he's had the last couple of times out. If you remember when we ran out at Pikes Peak, he had to pit for 2 right rear tires and picked up that big push. But right now, he seems to have that thing on a string. And every time David Steele closes a little bit, it looks like he just listens to his spotter saying, hey, he's catching you, and he just gasses her a little harder.
Lapping traffic, working on Richie Tobias in the 17 out of Pennsylvania. Young Toby Jr. has crossed up out of 4 there, but J.J. Yaley able to sneak by him without much problem. Had to go way low.
Oh, man, he was way down there on the apron to get around him, but he didn't want to take the chance. Tobias was a little squirrely, and that's one of the things you face. If you follow somebody for a couple of laps, they can take you out, so you got to get around them as quick as you can.
Well, one of the early contenders is behind the wall downstairs with Dave Argabright.
Well, Jason Leffler, an early exit. What happened, Jason?
Dave, I can't hear a word you're saying, but we just got really loose and just out there in the way and hung out for a while for a yellow flag, but one didn't come, so no use staying in the way, you know, just come in and go again some other time.
A prudent decision by Jason Leffler.
Guy really likes to run the open wheel cars when he gets a chance.
He does. He runs them as much as he can. A lot of these guys come back and run when they have the opportunity, you know, but they're busy guys. I mean, they run a lot in the series that they regulars in, so they have to do this just when they get the chance.
Jason Leffler, of course, drives for Team ASE, the Dodge truck that he runs in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is 10th, 11th, and 12th. Great battle here. Brad Knopfsinger involved in that. Dane Carter in the 41 who was involved in that hard hit Casey Kane took earlier, and Paul White's there.
Yeah, he was up to 10th at one time. It looks like he might have slowed down just a little bit. But, you know, right now he's in a big battle. That's Knopfsinger up there, and he's gotten around him. And it looks like Paul White right now is making a move on the bottom side.
Good run, though, for Dane Carter. The Pedigo Chevrolet Panther Racing Machine, brand new car. John Barnes and his group getting heavily involved, now owning that car.
Yeah, I was kidding them earlier. I said, well, you guys don't have enough racing to do, or you don't spend enough money in the IRL, so you got to come out here on Thursday nights and do this.
Good, though, I think a real vote of confidence in the United States Auto Club to have a team like Panther, the two-time IRL defending champions, decide, hey, we're going to get involved here. We're going to support Dane Carter and get him some new equipment and try to get him to the front. As White now will try to get inside Brad Knopfsinger.
The other thing kind of interesting, they said when they rolled this car into the shop, everybody dropped their tools on the IRL cars and went over to look at this thing and started working on it. So,
as we've said many times this year, these cars, front-engine Silver Crown cars, they were known as championship cars for many, many years. The old championship trail, these cars were in use, 20, 30, 40 years ago. This is what everybody grew up with.
Yeah, they certainly did. A lot of these guys are very familiar with them.
J.J. Yaley continues to lead. 37 laps remain at Raceway Park as he puts a lap on John Stark. Steele, Edwards, and McCord, the rest of the top four. Closing in on 30 laps to go tonight at Indianapolis Raceway Park. The USAC Weld Racing Silver Crown Series is on speed. Alongside former national champion Larry Rice, I'm Rick Benjamin. Dave Argabright is on pit road. J.J. Yaley, the quick qualifier tonight as he goes for a record-breaking 20th United States Auto Club national victory in one season. Larry, we take a look at his Silver Crown year, the 3 wins and 6 starts, 5 top 10s. They were out to lunch, though, on the mile at Pikes Peak.
Yeah, that's the one time that they've really had a lot of trouble, but here tonight, so far, he has just been on a string. Dave Steele has stayed about the same distance behind him. Carl Edwards, another 5 or 6 car lengths behind Steele. But Jason McCord running back there in 4th, he has come from almost a whole straightaway behind to catch Carl Edwards. So that's he's really on the move. This is for 9th spot. Paul White in the 10 car out of Temple, Texas. Right behind him, Dane Carter, Pancho's son, in that Pedigo Panther Racing 41. And Yaley's about to lap them, so JJ's put all but the top 10 a lap down, it looks like. Wow, look at that. Look how easily he does that. Look at this. Jason McCord, I told you how he'd come from almost a straightaway behind. He caught Carl Edwards and just followed him for one straightaway and blew by him. So he is really on a rail right now. Well, McCord, 30 to go next time by. He is a long way behind the leaders. Here comes Edwards back as they lap by Jimmy McCune out of Ohio in the 66. Edwards says, I can't do anything with you. I'm going to let you go. Carl may have used up the right rear on that 95 car. Yeah, I think he ran that bottom for so many laps there early in the event. He greased up the right rear. If they get a yellow and he has a chance to cool that tire down, he may be fast again. But as long as they're under green, I think he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Trying to get you a sense of the gap as McCord slides the 4 car just a little bit out of turn 4, but he is running some very, very quick laps on the racetrack. Yes, he is. He's, I believe he's probably I think he's catching those guys in front of him. He's at least catching David Steele. Down into 3. There's Steele's black car on the left of your screen. Lapped car between the two. David Bridges in the 40 sideways. Knopfsinger. Here's Yaley now starting to lap traffic. There's Steele. And McCord may have a shot here. We got plenty of time. 28 laps to go. He's going to get by Dane Carter. But now the leaders are in lap traffic. Yeah, the leaders are in lap traffic. That'll help him a little bit. But McCord has just been so quick. As you can see, he did this earlier, and we thought it was just a mistake. But, boy, now look at this. Yaley just went around 2 cars on the outside, so he's got that thing working pretty doggone good. 9 car is much quicker than these lap machines. He has to work by Knopfsinger, but the longer it takes him to do it, the better a chance it gives Steele and McCord. Yeah, those guys both. I think Yaley though seems to be getting through the traffic better than either one of them, and that's going to help him. When we talked to him at the top of the broadcast, he talked about how they've been doing work on shock absorbers, and you hear that in almost every form of racing. But the car does seem to be working a lot better than it did last time here when he won. Oh, absolutely. And you can see that Jason McCord is really catching David Steele. I think Jason McCord, even without a yellow, there's 75 laps down this time by. So he'll have still have 25 laps to go, and even without a yellow, he's got a chance to catch Yaley.
Jason McCord is on the move. He's third in the Contos number 4. We'll take a quick timeout. Be right back with more here on Speed. Welcome back at Indianapolis Raceway Park, the United States Auto Club, the Weld Racing Silver Crown Series tonight. With Larry Rice, I'm Rick Benjamin, Dave Argabright on pit road. A night when many guys we thought would be major players in this one went out early. A few didn't even make the show, like Jay Drake, who was so dominant at Pikes Peak International Raceway on the 4th of July. But J.J. Yaley was the quick qualifier. He's led every lap.
What a surprise. He's done that so often this year. He's come out of the box very strong and has never looked back so far in this race. As good as Dave Steele is at this particular facility, he just hasn't been able to get up there and challenge him yet.
There's your second place runner in Bob Gratton's 19, but look at how quickly Jason McCord has closed in. McCord, as we get close to 20 to go, he can see he's got second spot within his grasp.
Yeah, he's really on the hunt. He's on the mark. He knows how close he is to Dave Steele. The real question is, without a yellow flag, can he catch J.J. Yaley? And I really don't think he can. Yaley is quick enough when he needs to be. But boy, what a tremendous job coming from 15th up to 3rd right now.
20 to go next time by, and McCord is so strong. I don't know if it'll take him long at all. That inside move he's run on several drivers. He drops to the bottom of Steele in 3 and 4.
And Steele's a tough guy to pass. Steele doesn't just move over and let you go, and he had no choice. I mean, he gassed that thing, but he pushed the front end a little bit when he did, and McCord just was on a string, just flew on by him.
Try to give you a sense of the gap as McCord works the wheel on the Hat World number 4. It's almost a full straightaway between first and second. Can't get a watch on him, unfortunately, but I think he's quicker than Yaley.
Yeah, I think he's quicker than anybody else on the racetrack, and I think he has been since about lap 50. Early in the race, when he was moving up, he was in a lot of traffic, and he took his time. That's one thing about him. He was very, very patient there early in the event and didn't wear his tires out, where I think some of the other guys made their moves a little too quickly and did cause themselves some trouble with the tires.
But from 15th to second spot, Jason McCord has turned in an excellent drive tonight. There's the gap. Your leader, Yaley, in the 9 car. The 4 running in second spot. Jason McCord charging hard. 2.5 seconds unofficially the gap, but I think McCord's knocking a 10th or so off a lap.
Yeah, I think he is too. I think it's at least a 10th a lap that he's gaining on him. So, you know, he's really visibly moving up, even though you know, he's still half a straightaway behind.
And now lap traffic again a factor. Yaley's got a couple of cars he's got to sift by. No trouble with Jonathan Bennett in the 99. That's Tyler Walker a lap down in the 35 car. Yaley splits him.
Okay, in this traffic, he's lost a half second, so McCord is only 2 seconds behind now, and this time he's going to gain even more as Yaley's a little bit stuck right there behind Walker.
Quick move to the inside. He gets one car in the wall. And Tyler Walker clips him. I think that's Ron Gregory in the 48 car. Everybody else gets safely by. Tyler Walker just touched the right rear corner of the 48.
And there is Tyler Walker. And you can see the tail, the rear bumper is gone. And the tail tank is dented in where he got that thing sideways to try to miss him, but he clipped him just a little bit, enough to tear the rear bumper off.
It's our 3rd caution of the night on lap 84, and tough break for young Ron Gregory from Noblesville, Indiana, a young driver many are looking at. He's a guy who's attracted a lot of attention.
Yeah, and if you remember right, he ran very good here the last race, and right near the end of the race, he crashed. And you can see there doesn't seem to be anybody near him, and he just got into the wall. Right there, he got clipped pretty hard, and they won't restart that car, I don't think.
J.J. Yaley continues to lead, but Jason McCord will be right there when we come back at Raceway Park. Back at Raceway Park, the United States Auto Club, widely regarded as the quickest and best way for a young driver to get to the Indy Racing League. Aaron Fike is on that path, doing very well here and in the Infiniti Pro Series. And we talked to him earlier. It's our Indy Racing League connection.
Wheel-to-wheel action with 30 or 40 of the best drivers in the country is what gets you ready for the Indy Racing League or any kind of series. And the weight to horsepower ratio is tremendous in these cars, and it takes almost a lot of finesse and a lot of driving skill to make these cars go fast. Obviously the whole package has got to be there. You got to have a good car to make you look good, and and vice versa. And but it definitely teaches you a lot about setting up a car the basics of racing. I mean, you know, we run 60, 70 races a year, and there's, you know, nothing that gets you more prepared to run something than running races itself.
Aaron Fike, a young driver we expect great things from this year and the rest of the way, certainly into his future. Jason McCord has caught the leader. He'll be right behind J.J. Yaley. Dave Argabright on the restart.
Well, Rick, that caution flag was exactly what Jason McCord needed. Larry Contos, car owner of that number 4, can he pass J.J. Yaley?
Well, as you know, J.J. is very, very good. And catching him and passing him were two different things, but we've had the best car, I think, the whole race. We've been 2 to 3 tenths faster than J.J. I was afraid we were just going to run out of laps, so we'll see what we can do here. It's going to be a nice 10-lap dash, I think, here to the finish.
If he does pass him, that triggers an awful big celebration in a good old Anderson, Indiana, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure would. The triplets will be very happy. They need new shoes.
Babies need a new pair of shoes.
Well, Jason's hoping to cash a nice check here tonight at Raceway Park. From 15th to 2nd, Larry writes, this is a tough league to do that in.
It's a tough league to do that in. He's done a terrific job, and I think Larry Contos was right. I think he has probably been the fastest car out there. I didn't realize he was 2 or 3 tenths faster, but I knew he was at least a tenth faster there, right near the closing section.
Lights are out on the pace truck. Restart coming. The lap count holds at 90. They counted caution laps up to 90. Top 4 cars are nose to tail. Maybe David Steele has something left in the 19 car. 10 to go here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Settle in. This ought to be a great one. Yaley is the restart pole sitter. McCord, Steele, and Carl Edwards. And here we go.
This is a 10-lap trophy dash. There's no saving tires. There's no saving cars. There's no saving anything. You give it everything you got right now, and there's first 4 cars don't have any lap cars to contend with.
Yaley got a great restart.
Yes, he did. He was very clever, and you can believe that they're telling him on the radio exactly what's going on and the fact that he was being, you know, caught up to. So he was ready for it, and with cooler tires, he might have a better chance. It may be the hot tires where McCord was really better.
Battle really is for second. Steele challenging McCord. The 4 car a little bit loose last time out.
Yeah, and he's lost a little bit now. Then Steele falls back just a little bit. We'll see. About 5 laps to go. We'll see if he, all of a sudden McCord starts gaining on him. It may be that when the tires get warmed up, his car is faster.
Edwards to the bottom in the 95, trying to get by Steele in the 19 car. This is lap number 93. There'll be 7 to go, and McCord's knocking on the door.
McCord is getting stronger. The hotter the tires get, you can see Yaley's getting loose up there on the top. So he's not going to move down the racetrack. If he moves down the racetrack, the car will get even looser. So he's going to run up on the top of the racetrack.
Yaley's won 3 of the first 6 Silver Crown races. Hasn't won the last couple of times out, though. Going for his record-breaking 20th USAC win. But here comes Jason McCord looking for his first of the season. McCord on the bottom. 6 laps to go this time by McCord by a wheel.
And there's not one person in this stadium sitting down. They're all standing up, hooping and hollering. And there he goes. He makes the pass exactly like we said. As the tires got warmer, he got faster. JJ slowed up slightly.
Here comes Yaley, though, right back at him. 5 to go this time by. 5 laps to go, and McCord opens up the lead.
Remember, we wrote Yaley off the last time we were here, and he came back on the last lap and just blew by David Steele.
David Steele gives up 3rd spot, meantime, to Carl Edwards in the 95. Great return for the young Truck Series star from Roush Racing to the Silver Crown Series.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He ran back there. He fell back a little bit on those hot tires during the last segment, but now that his tires have cooled off, he once again is pretty quick.
4 laps remain tonight at Raceway Park in Clermont, Indiana, just outside Indianapolis. You know it is IRP, and your leader is Jason McCord. He has set sail. He's waved goodbye to Yaley.
Yeah, he has really pulled out to about an 8 or 10 car length lead right now, and doesn't seem to be anything that Yaley can do about it. Looks like that record is going to go unbroken once again.
Jason McCord with the drive of the night in the Contos Hat World number 4, started 15th. Obviously didn't qualify very well, made that spot on time. And boy, has he been just on fire up through the field since the drop of the green.
Yeah, he's just been the class of the field since we've been watching. But the first 15 cars were actually pretty close in time. It wasn't that he was real slow, it's just that the first 15 were very close in time.
Dave Steele now 4th in the 19. He started 2nd. Dave Darlin, late race bloomer that he is. White flag next time by. Darlin's 5th. He wants 4th, and he may get Steele here.
Wow. It seems like he is another one. The longer the race goes green, the faster he gets. And Steele, you can see, really loose. He's really got that thing hanging out.
Final trip around the 5/8 mile layout here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Dave Darland, Dave Steele for 4th spot. Jason McCord in car number 4, all alone out of turn 4, completing a 15th, the first place drive. The battle for 4th. McCord is the winner, and it'll be Darland for 4th spot in the 92. Second to Yaley, third to Carl Edwards. Darland takes 4th on the final lap. Jason McCord completes a great run and picks up his first United States Auto Club Silver Crown win of 2003. We'll be right back to tell you more of the stories of the United States Auto Club Silver Crown Series at Raceway Park when we continue tonight on Speed.
He thought he was going to be a professional baseball player, and a shoulder injury 10 years ago changed his life. Jason McCord, it's been 10 years coming for this Silver Crown win. Tell me about the moment.
Dave, I'll tell you what, it's great, especially for it to happen here at IRP. You know, we've been so close so many times. We just had a great race car. You know, I got to thank my car owner, Larry Contos, and all my crew, my dad, Tim, Curly, Roger, Steve, just everybody. You know, they worked their butts off. And, of course, all the great people at Hat World, Lids, Top of the World, and especially that Ed Pink Ford motor. Man, is that thing a horse. What a day, and thank you to Weld Racing for sponsoring such a great series.
Tell me about what went through your mind when you saw that caution flag.
Well, I couldn't have been happier. You know, I knew we were a little quicker than JJ at the time, and I could see him kind of getting a little bit loose. And, you know, they were telling me on the radio we were 2 to 3 tenths quicker than him a lap, so I knew we were catching him, but it was going to be a matter of whether we ran out of laps or not. And finally, a yellow benefits me. And, man, I'll tell you, this has been the worst year of my life as far as racing goes. Anything could happen, has happened, but I think we finally got the monkey off our back in a big way.
Well, Grandpa says the triplets need a new pair of shoes. How about it?
We need 3. I'll tell you, I'll get 6 pairs. They can each have 2. You know, my wife's here. She doesn't get to come to the races very often. I love her to death. Thank her for putting up with all my crap sometimes. And to my great kids, I love you. Cade, Maitland, Landon, I'll see you when I get home.
Happy time here in the Contos pit.
Deservedly so. Jason McCord, we understand his first career win at Indianapolis Raceway Park, as well as his first this season. A well-deserved victory tonight as he comes from 15th to grab the checkered flag. You know, Dave Argabright, there's an expression some agree with in motorsports: second place is first loser. I bet J.J. Yaley's pretty disappointed.
Well, I know he's disappointed. The obvious question, J.J., did your car begin to go away at the end?
Yeah, about halfway through the race, the car started getting loose, and it's really unfortunate. The Power Stroke diesel car was running awesome. Ford was pulling great. Just one of those things, not late race yellow there definitely hurt us. You know, they said that Jason was coming. You know, if you're holding back, you better give it all you got. And the MP Stewart Components car was, you know, that's all we had there at the end. And the yellow hurt us a little bit. And, you know, my hat's off to Jason McCoy. Did an awesome job. They definitely were the fastest car on the racetrack. Just race was too long or something happened.
Maybe you can talk him into a 90-lapper next time.
If 90 laps, I'd have been okay. But that's okay. We won one earlier this year this way, so I guess we're back to even.
J.J. Yaley, philosophical in second place.
In your top 5, Jason McCord the winner. J.J. Yaley runs second. Edwards, Darland, and Steele rounding out the Fast 5 tonight. We'll take another timeout and be right back with more from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Back at Indianapolis Raceway Park, McCord, Yaley, Edwards, Darland, and Steele, your top 5, Larry Rice. And for Jason McCord, what can you say? What a great run.
He just had a terrific run. He did everything he had to do. He saved his tires to the end. He ran those guys down, and he passed them one at a time, and he didn't get in a hurry. He was very, very patient.
And Carl Edwards, first drive of the year in an open-wheel car, Truck Series star on the rise, good third.
Well, he did. That's the best we've seen him run here at Raceway Park, and that's probably a good omen for him coming up to the truck race here pretty soon.
Take a look at the next group of 5 finishers. Bobby East quietly with a 6th tonight.
Yeah, and what about Tony Elliott up to 7th, too? He didn't even run that car the last time out, so he had a great run for him, and he was on the lead lap.
Dane Carter survived that hard contact with Casey Kane that put Kane into the wall in the air in turn 3. He comes home 9th in his first run for Panther.
Yeah, he did a good job. I think all those guys will be happy. I think they brought about 30 or 40 guys out here from Panther tonight.
As you mentioned, it's a real boost in that shop. They enjoy going Silver Crown racing, and we look forward to seeing the 41 car the rest of the way. Jimmy McCune quietly a nice 11th. Jonathan Vennard made it through the consolation.
Yeah, and he came a long way up from that consolation start to finish 12th.
Richie Tobias rounding out the first 15. Show you the next group of 5 finishers. Aaron Pierce, Tyler Walker, who was involved in that late wreck with Ron Gregory. Jason Leffler was a contender early on.
Yeah, and he finally fell out. Tough break for him.
Johnny Heidenreich from Pennsylvania. Eric Bootsy, who was black flagged early, came back on the track and was quick. Jimmy Kite, Levi Jones, Casey Kane into the wall. Tracy Hines broke that rear axle and stopped down on the racetrack. And then Tyler, Bliss, Lewis, Fike, and Phillip, and Eric Gordon didn't really make the start here tonight at Raceway Park. Well, for Dave Argabright and Larry Rice, I'm Rick Benjamin, congratulating our winner tonight. A great run for Jason McCord. Tough night for a few other guys. We'll talk to you next time here on Speed. Thanks for watching, everybody.